Shalom. Shalom to those that's coming in this faith. Shalom to this faith. Trying to see if this. Yep, this is it. Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit and the sound doctrine, but willing that they can continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwath, believers of this faith and this truth, Lord willing that you all continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy, brothers and sisters, that's not in the faith. Right, you see the title. This is a great day or a great time to be alive. And I mean, in the physical sense, and even more in the spiritual sense, right? I got the lessons that was already ready, but this one is really flowing through the spirit. Just excited of knowing how this truth is just set up, man. I'm gonna bring out some points in this, which kind of lines and even prove even more that we the people, but just how these secrets you have to investigate, man. But let me get to this point. This is Acts, the 2nd chapter. After Yahushua gave up the ghost in the first, I mean, not gave up the ghost, but when he was beamed up into a chariot going up to the Father. And then now the apostles, about to start that ministry. This is the history of the apostles. And Peter getting in there. And this is just a point. When they started their ministry, it started to grow. And when I was thinking about this while I was listening to it and reading it at work, I said, this is how this truth took off. In the late 1969, when the Lord started Abba Bibbins, and then he had the 7, so on, so on. Look at us now, 2025. This is a domino effect. The truth has grown. Now, even though brothers is off in certain areas, they're here and there, but knowing that we are the Hebrew Israelites, knowing that the name of the Father and the Son is on the earth. Right? Before I get that, let me get that one too, because that was on my mind all night. Now, anybody that's watching this, say Yahweh and then say Yahweh Shai. When you go to Exodus, is it 23? This Exodus 23, verse 20. It says, behold, I send an angel, which is a representative, a messenger, before thee to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. So when you say Yahweh, say Yahweh Shai. The Heavenly Father's name is in his Son's name. Right? When you look at, what is it, Jehovah and Yeshua, Their names don't line up. Where is Jehovah in Yeshua? But you hear Yahweh in Yahweh Shai. Come on, man. Yahweh Shai's name is in the Father's name. You know what? Let me get another point on that. We're going to still go back to Acts, the second chapter, but we got to get this point. Come on, man. We got to get excited for this. Let's get this. So when we look at the name Yahweh, his name Yahweh means he is or he exists. Yahweh Shai, he delivers, he saves, right? St. John, let me, because I'm trying to do this quickly. St. John chapter 5. Come on, let me get it. St. John chapter 5 in verse 43. I believe verse 43. Own name, him ye will receive. Yahweh Shai came in his Father's name. Can't get over that. In the NLT, I have come to you in my Father's name, and you have rejected me. Yet if others come in their own name, you gladly welcome them. He came in his Father's name. Yahweh Shai. Right? Let's get another one real quick. Right? St. John, the 17th chapter, in verse 6. It says, I have manifested, basically saying, I have revealed thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. Right? He revealed the Heavenly Father's name. Right? Of course, those that were walking in the ways of the Lord had the name of the Father, but even more, him coming in the Father's name, even more reveal who he is, man. Right? Matthew 1:21. Thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shai, for he shall save his people from their sins. Right? This is why calling on Yahweh Shema Shai is powerful. The Son's name carries the Father's authority and purpose. Because Yahweh Shai's name means what he's going to do. He's going to save and deliver us. Right? It don't matter what you're doing, man. I'm at work and I'm thinking, my mind is in the days. If I'm thinking about a lollipop or a freezy, nothing can stop the day of the Lord, man. Everything that was said back then, right? And I said this in another video. When the Lord told Abraham his descendants will go to a land that's not theirs and be there for 400 years, guess what? That was fulfilled, but then they came out 430 years later, right? What the Lord told them all the way from Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, then they get into Joshua, then Judges, they get into the land, they do the same things what he tell them not to do, man. You have Benjamin trying to lay with the Levi man. They said, so tell him to come out so we can know him. When you read another translation, they wanted to grape him, man. Then they gave, the Levite gave his damn concubine to him. Then we had different kings. Look what Saul did. When we go into Gideon had like a lot of men. He had a lot of men in his army. And the Lord broke down the army because, let me see if we can go find it. Yo, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai got so many points. Like Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai truly deserves to be praised and glorified, man. Where's we at? I passed it. I think it's the 6th chapter. Is it? Let's see. Okay, this is Judges, the 7th chapter, in verse 1. It says, Then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them by the hill of Marah. in the valley. And Yahweh said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites unto their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, my own hand have saved me. Right? Because that's what Jake would do. They would take credit that, oh, I saved our people. Right? And the Lord was like, man, it's too many of y'all. Let's see what he gets into. Now, therefore, go and proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart earlier from the Mount Gilead. And there return of the people 22,000, and there remain 10,000. People are yet too many. And I will try that of whom I say shall go with thee, that the same shall go with thee, and whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall go with thee, and the same shall go not. So he brought down the people into the water, and Yahweh said unto Gideon, everyone that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, is like you put your face in the bowl and you just using your tongue, right? It says, as a dog lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise, everyone that bowed down upon his knees to drink, right, using their hands. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hands to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. And Yahweh said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I have you, and deliver the Midianites unto thy hand, and let all the other people go every man into his place. Right? The Lord chose those that used their hand and drunk, instead of those that were like some damn dogs. Right? It says, so the people took, hold on. I think that's basically it. But I know if I read in another translation, I'm gonna get what I really want. Right. So let me read this real quick in another translation, because I think it's a point I really wanted in that. Judges, the 7th chapter. Let me read verse 2. Yeah, this is Judges 7:2 in the NLT. It says, Yahweh said to Gideon, you have too many warriors with you. If I let all of you fight the Midianites, the Israelites will boast to me that they saved themselves with their own strength. Right? The Lord don't want us to do that. He want us to depend on him. Tell the people, whoever is timid or afraid may leave this mountain and go home. So 22,000 of them went home, leaving only 10,000 who were willing to fight. But Yahweh told Gideon, there are still too many. Bring them down to the spring, and I will test them to determine who will go with you and who will not. When Gideon took his warriors down to water, Yahweh told him, divide the men into 2 groups. In one group, put all those who cup water in their hands and lap it with their tongues like dogs. In the other group, put all those who kneel down and drink with their mouth in the stream. Right? So wait, hold on. Now the ones, take that back. Better yet, the ones they sat down and had it in their hands like a dog, and licking it, and then the other ones they kneeled down and they drunk it in the stream. Only 300 of the men drank with their hands. All the others got down on their knees and drank with their mouths in the stream. Right? And Yahweh told Gideon, with these 300, so the 300 men that actually picked it up like this in a cup, instead of kneeling all the way down and drinking it, because kneeling down would be just like a deer and a dog. But them picking it up, scooping it, and drinking it out their hands, the Lord chose them. Right? But the whole point of the whole thing is, instead of us boasting on what we did, the Lord wants us to boast on him. Right? The whole point of this lesson is for us to get back to boasting in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, what he did for you, right? Coming in his truth. I'm trying to get this point. Now, I'm about to get a point, right? The Lord wants us to boast on him, man. Right? So we're reading for a second, right? Maybe it might take you to go read. This is Acts the 2nd chapter, starting at verse 29. It says, "Men and brethren." Do it say who's talking? Because I know it's Peter. Do we want to start up a little more? You know what? Let me start up, right? This is Acts chapter 2, starting at verse 22. It says, "Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Yahushua of Nazareth, a man approved of the Most High among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which the Most High did by him in the midst of you." And Yahushua said this in the gospel, right? It wasn't him. It was the Heavenly Father in him. The Heavenly Father was making these moves, these plays, these miracles, these signs within Yahushua. Again, him being delivered by terminate the counsel in foreknowledge of the Most High, ye have taken, and by wicked hands have crucified and slain, whom the Most High have raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be holden of it. For David speaking concerning him, I foresaw the Lord always before my face, for he is on my right hand, that I should not be moved. That's Psalms the 16th chapter. Let's get it. Psalms the 16th chapter. Psalms the 16th chapter, and we're going to start at verse 8. In the KJV, it says, I have set Yahweh always before me, because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore, my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption. David was speaking about Yahushai. When Yahushai died, at that, really he was still alive, but he died, right? His body didn't see corruption. Come on, back to Acts chapter 2. And Peter is showing the same thing we doing now. He's going into the precepts. He's going into the history to line up the precepts, to line up the understanding. Verse 26, it says, Therefore did my heart rejoice, and my tongue was glad. Moreover, also my flesh shall rest in hope. The same thing we just read in Psalms. Come on. Oh man, that man is fraudulent. It's fake. No, they're re-saying the same thing that's said in the New Testament to show you the fulfillment. Verse 27, because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption. Who's that Holy One? Yahushai. Thou hast made known to me the ways of life. Thou shalt make me full of joy with thy countenance. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulcher is with us to this day. At that time, right, that a lot, what was the, not a tradition, but when our fathers died, we buried them in the sepulcher, right? Now, of course, we all the way over here, all that's overtaken. We don't know nothing, but these scriptures we believe, right? So David is dead and buried. Therefore, being a prophet and knowing that the Most High has sworn with an oath to him that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he will raise up Hamashiach to sit on his throne. What verse is that? Let's go to 2 Samuel. This is in the history. 2 Samuel the 7th chapter. I think, is it verse 12? It says, and when thy days be fulfilled, speaking to David, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. Yes, we're thinking of Solomon, but Solomon was Yahushai. And he shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Yes, Solomon built a physical temple, but the Lord don't dwell in temples made by hands, because that was just all an implement to usher in Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, was in the temple when the ark was there, right? But now there's no ark, no temple. Yahweh Shai was building a spiritual house. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. You are a spiritual house. The temple is us. The Lord dwells in us. We were made in the heavens. The Lord is dealing with us. He's dwelling in us, really dwelling in the elect, right? Verse 14, I will be his father and he shall be my son. This is directed to Solomon. Solomon is playing a role. Yahweh Shai is playing a role within him, which Solomon is Yahweh Shai. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, with the stripes of the children of men. Solomon committed iniquity. He committed idolatry, right? Sacrificed it to a whole nother God. When in the GBGBs was this fulfilled, man? Where he was chased. This is Proverbs 3, verse 11 and 12. My son, despise not the chastening of Yahweh, neither be weary of his correction. For whom Yahweh loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. The Lord corrected Yahweh Shai when when he was himself on the earth. He corrected him, right? What is that? We can just go to Isaiah 53. Is it verse 4? Surely he have borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted. And he's an atonement. And when the priest was doing the atonement or the sins for Israel, he was even doing a sin for himself. Yahweh Shai laid himself down for all Israel's sins, going all the way back to Adam, all the way to Solomon, all the way for this time, man. He covered us, man. Right? Let's get another one. Let's go to Psalms 132, verse 11. It says, Yahweh have sworn in truth unto David. He will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set up thy throne. I will set upon, Salaki, of the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne. Right? You read in the NLT, it says, Yahweh swore an oath to David with a promise he will never take back. I will place one of your descendants on your throne. If your descendants obey the terms of my covenant in the laws that I teach them, then your royal line will continue forever and ever. Now, this is going to go through Yahweh Shai. Solomon, yes, he messed up and he fell, and the kingdom was split to Jeroboam and Rehoboam of Solomon, right? But in Yahweh Shai, that descendant is going to be forever and ever and ever. Come on, man. They really talking in here, man. Right? Let me see if I got another one. Luke 1 and 32. This is Luke 1 and 32. It says, he shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest, and Yahweh Shemel Shai power shall give unto him the throne of his father David. This is confirmation Yahweh Shai was Solomon. Saying it again. He shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord power shall give unto him the throne of his father David. Yes, Yahushai is a descendant out of the loins of David. But even when we went to tell you, I really don't know. I don't know. Oh, phone is on hot. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Like if it's going on hot, it wasn't meant for you guys to hear it. That's the best thing that I can say. Yeah. That's the best thing I can say. I don't know. It, when it does that, it probably wasn't meant for you guys to hear this live. But hey, let me just get back into it.